Now then everybody, hope you are all well. Just a little bonus video for you because right now I am in the Krone Museum in Germany, in Spelle, at the HQ of Krone. And just to fill you in, if you follow me this way, what we've been up to while we've been out here. So this is all part of the Icons of Agriculture series. And one of the icons that we will be featuring is, of course, the Big X from Krone, which is celebrating 25 years in 2025. So we've been doing a shed load on the Big X. So we're going to split that particular icon up into three parts. So we've got history and evolution of the Big X. And then in part two, we've got the production of the Big X. And then in part three, we've got, well, we'll be out in the field with some customers and seeing how they're getting on with the Big X. And just for your information, that one over there, that is Big X number one. That's the very first one. But I thought, while we're here in this museum, this amazing museum, I've got to show you this because it is just absolutely jam-packed with one hell of a collection of stuff, like all sorts of stuff, which I'm just going to show you now. But if we go back to basically the very beginning. So like a lot of farm machinery manufacturers throughout the world, throughout Europe, it all started as a blacksmith shop. So with Bernard Krone the first, and then and actually while we're here, a lot of these tools, see all these tools down here, these are the original tools. These haven't just been made for show. These are the original tools from that original blacksmith company. But then if we come down here, and have a look at some of the other products that they've produced throughout the years. Like if you really wind the clock back, some of you might remember, but they used to produce a range of tillage equipment as well. As you can see, we've got ploughs and discs and all sorts down this side. And then really, this is the guy that probably most of you you'll associate with Krone, which is Bernard Krone the Third, or Bernard Krone Senior, as I sort of know him. Died now, 2022, hell of a man. Legend in his own right, and he used to really look after us on some of these press trips, which was amazing. And then in the company today, we've got his son, Bernard Krone IV, BK4, and then his sister down here at the bottom. She's the boss of the machinery dealership side of Krone. Some of you may not know that, but Krone is a massive machinery dealer. It's all part of the Krone group. They don't just manufacture farm machinery. They also manufacture trailers as well, which you'll probably see around, truck trailers. But his sister, she looks after the dealership side, which is, if I'm right in thinking, is the biggest farm machinery dealership in Europe. And as we're passing here, this is one of their most famous products throughout Europe, which is, a dung spreader. The Optimat, I think they sell thousands of those. But I suppose you could say for the bit that we've been filming, the forager journey starts here with these mounted and sort of trailed foragers that they've got. And actually, if you have a little look over here, if you think about the maize header that they use now on the Big X forages, look how similar that is. They got the concept right all those years ago, and they're still using the same concept today, which you'll find out in the series, in the big series that's coming up. But you can kind of see a bit of a rough timeline on the back wall here. Like there's several ages of man there. So you've got the original little foragers there, then we move on to the first Big X, and then kind of where we're up to today. But if we move through here, and this, I mean, check these out. Check this out for a collection. Look at these tractors. And I think, I'm not quite sure whose personal collection it is. Obviously, it's one of the Krone families, but it's one hell of a collection. But it also represents some of the tractors that they used to sell in their dealership throughout the years. So Lanz Bulldog and John Deere in particular. But, I mean, just look at some of these examples. I mean, they are absolutely mint. I mean, a lot of these will be just completely priceless. There's some absolutely gorgeous machines in here. The John Deere 520, you got your little Deutz here. The F1M 414, Elfer, as it was sort of referred to. Fendt Diesel Ross. I mean, look at that. That is a gorgeous little thing there. Diesel Ross F236. So, nice little thing there. Hanomag tractor there. But I mean, it's just one hell of a collection. As we come through the museum here, we start to see some of the other famous Krone products that, like I say, they are famous for. So we've got a lot of mounted mowers here. We've got some drum mowers down this side. You can see an early mower, disc mower conditioner. Where's Steve gone? Early disc mower conditioner down here on this side. Got the trail mower over here. And then, yeah, we're on to some of the early round balers if you go over this side. And then, like I said before, they were doing tillage equipment. So we've got a plough over here, an early rake over there, and then on to, yeah, the famous big pack and kind of where it all started. So we've got a very early big pack on this side. Next to that, we've got the round baler, and already, like Krone, as we found out, as we've been filming with them all this week, they do like to do things just that little bit different. They always like to just come to the market with something different. And, you know, their round balers is a great example, using this sort of chain and slat idea. Let's not do rollers, let's not do belts, let's do chain and slat. Just, you know, something completely different, which they still use on their Comprima round balers to this day. And then we look at some of the early forage wagons. I mean, you'll have seen some of the current forage wagons, like we featured the RX on LandPowerTV.com. You know, you look at where they were and where they are now, and it's just, yeah, the game moves on constantly, and they're just constantly developing. But yeah, some cracking examples of the early forage wagons. And then Big M. I mean, that's an icon in its own right. That might be featured in our series one day, but this is the very first Big M. And yeah, what a machine. Can you imagine that all those years ago when that was launched? Because I think that was launched before the Big X. That was around before the Big X. And because they had experience in self-propelled technology, it gave them the confidence to create the Big X, because basically they combined the self-propelled technology of the Big M with their technology and their experience in forage harvesting. And then this is where we end up. In the year 2000, this piece hits the market, which is, yeah, Big X #1, which is all about, you know, which is fully covered in our Icons of Agriculture series. But just looking at some of the other pieces in this collection, I mean, look at this one. This big old Lanz here. I don't know if we can find some details. What we got? 1917 it is. 4-cylinder. It's a massive 4-cylinder motor in here. 80 horse from that. But it is just a beast. I mean, it's a proper big, well, it's like a big tillage tractor almost. It's a beast. But then we've got some cracking harvesting examples here. John Deere Combine number 36. I mean, check that out. I mean, I think it's header. Where's its header? Steve, we saw its header the other day. Where is it? So its header is hiding back here, up here, which would be mounted on the side of the combine. But yeah, just awesome. Freaking brilliant. So we've got that, and then I suppose it's a bit of a bad word around here, but we've got one of the original class combines. What would this one be? Yeah, Columbus. So I'm not quite sure if you can find a year on that one. What year is that one? Do we have a year on that one? 1946, I think. I can't just quite read my German. Oh no, this could be a 1962 machine. But yeah, a very tidy example of an early class combine. And then if you come through here, there's just all sorts in the collection. Got the old Welger baler back there. Another one of these famous Optimat muck spreaders in the corner. They've got the Grimmy harvester there. There's literally just all sorts. But then you've got other monsters in the collection, like this big, massive Hanomag self-propelled plough. I mean, that is a monster. I mean, if we have a little nosy behind here, you can see the power unit down here. Big old lazy engineer. I think that's, another 4-cylinder in there. They love a big 4-cylinder back then, didn't they? But that is just one hell of a machine. Let's see if we can find some, 1919 machine, this Hanomag. 80 horsepower again. 17 litres. 17 litre displacement. 4-cylinder, 6.2 tonne, gasoline engine. Just a monster, but you can almost imagine the early beginnings of this. This would have been a drag plough between two engines, two steam engines, and then someone thought, hang on, we can do better than this. We can stick an engine on it, and yeah, there you go, absolute monster, a self-propelled plough. And then over this, there's more. What's this one? Another little Hanomag. 1940, 38 horse, massive tractor back in the day, I would imagine, fair old thing. Diesel tank takes most at cab up, as you can see, so that's a fair thing. But yeah, no, it's just one hell of a place in here. And if we sort of finish off back in here, if Steve can run backwards and trip up, we might get 250 quid on the You've Been Framed or whatever it's called. Yeah, back to sort of where we started. 2 more gorgeous tractors and a few cars in the collection as well. I'm sure they've got some serious significance there. I would imagine they'd be owned by some of the early Bernards in the company. But there you go. I just wanted to show you that because it is just such an amazing collection, and it's not often when you come to these manufacturers that they have museums like this. A lot of them do have their little museums, but this is particularly a special one. And this is only half of it. Across the road, there's another building again with another tractor collection, but that's for another day. But like I say, hopefully you enjoyed that. Just a little bit of a bonus episode from, while we've been here filming the Big X, sort of past, present and future, you might say. So check out that Icons of Agriculture series, which is coming up. We're not just featuring Krone as well. We've got other manufacturers in there as well with their iconic machines. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you again next time.